At 2:47 local time, 4 B-2 Spirit stealth bombers, call signs Pro 41 through 44, are already cutting silently through Iranian airspace, ghosts heading toward the most fortified missile complexes in the Middle East. 8 mountain-cut tunnel entrances, 6 vertical launch shafts bored straight through bedrock. Hundreds of ballistic missiles Tehran's commanders believed untouchable. They were wrong, and about to find out just how wrong. Iran's underground missile network was the spine of its entire deterrent structure. Hardened caverns buried beneath hundreds of feet of granite, engineered to survive any airstrike and keep missiles ready to launch at U.S., coalition, or Israeli targets. These colossal systems could seal their entrances in seconds. Their vertical shafts let missiles fire directly through the mountain, even from inside. This sequence is reconstructed from verified weapon specs and authentic tactical doctrine. What you're about to see is what a coordinated deep strike truly looks like when a target fights back. Pro 41 is 90 miles southeast of Tabriz's northern missile base, deep into its bomb run, when radio silence shatters. Viper 1, 2 contacts bearing 045, climbing through Angels to 0. Looks like fulcrums. 2 MiG-10S just scrambled out of Tabriz Air Base, barely 15 miles from the target. Here's the problem. Finding a B-2 on radar is like searching for a grain of sand on a moonless beach. A radar cross-section no bigger than a marble. But the MiG-29 carries an IRSD sensor, infrared search and track. An IRSD doesn't care about radar reflections, it hunts heat. 4 GF-118 engines, moving nearly 150 tons of aircraft through thin air, are anything but cold. If those MiGs close within 30 miles, they could catch a glimpse of that thermal glow. Could, a word B-2 pilots never like to hear on a bomb run. That's why they brought escorts. F-22 Raptors. Each Raptors and /APG-77 radar paints both MiGs from 60 miles out, long before the Iranian see a thing. But the fulcrums don't flee. They duck behind the jagged ridgelines north of Tabriz, using mountain clutter to break radar lock. Then, every few minutes, they pop back up, probing the corridor like hunters searching for phantoms. One Raptor drops into a canyon, chasing a MiG that rolls inverted and dives for the valley floor. The AMRAAM missile loses its radar lock in ground clutter and finds a cliffside instead. The deadliest game of whack-a-mole ever played. Except the moles are flying at Mach 1.5, and each swing of the hammer costs $1 million. 2 minutes to release. The mission commander makes the call. The MiGs are behind, just beyond 30 miles. IRSD detection at that distance? Unlikely. Not impossible. Just unlikely. And that's a word B-2 crews despise. Proceed. At 0259, bomb bay, doors yawn open. 10 seconds of maximum exposure. For those seconds, that marble turns into a barn. GBU-31S drop silently into the night. The eastern tunnel doesn't crack, it folds. The mountain face collapses under its own weight, granite tumbling like an avalanche. Pro 41 breaks west. Below, 2 MiG-29 pilots are circling over what used to be a missile base. If you find this breakdown useful, hit subscribe, because this is what real-world combat systems look like when they clash at full scale. Now, pay attention, because 600 meters south, Pro 42 just flew into a threat stealth can't stop. After Israel dismantled Iran's S-30 defenses, Iranian engineers designed a homegrown replacement under sanction, the SA-65, a mobile phased array radar system. Not full S-300 capability, but lethal enough to ruin a B-2 pilot's night. At 3:11, the SA-65 locks onto Pro 42. The battery commander commits, fires. The EA-1AG Growler, accompanying the strike, catches the emitter instantly. Its ALQ-249 next-generation jammer floods the SA-65S frequency, turning the Iranian radar into a storm of static. At the same moment, an F-35, which has been quietly cataloging that exact radar signature for the last 90 minutes, sends targeting coordinates through Link 16 to a Growler 40 miles west. An AGM-8AG HAR missile comes off the pylon, ramjet active, climbing at Mach 4. The SA-65 has 60 seconds to live. Problem is, 60 seconds is also how long it takes that same SAM to reach Pro-42's altitude. Both missiles are racing toward the same finish line, the B-2. The Iranian radar operator does the only smart thing left. Kills his radar 3 seconds before impact. The HAR missile doesn't care. Its memory is a grudge. Guided by GPS and inertial tracking, it slams into the exact coordinates that antenna radiated from 30 seconds earlier. A billion-dollar air defense program, answered by a missile the U.S. Navy orders like printer paper. But the night isn't done, for Shahab-3 launchers roll out of a cave east of Isfahan. Missiles that could be aimed at Israeli cities within the hour. An Israeli Deer flight spots them on infrared and cuts across the coordination line without waiting for permission. 3 invisible warplanes, 3 nations, now share the same block of airspace. Pro-42, high at 42,000 feet. 2 Israeli Adir F-35s climbing below. None could see the other by design. The mission commander reprograms 16 GPS aim points, 3 miles north, closing on target at 8 miles per minute. The Israeli jets strike first, hitting the mobile launch convoy before splitting south. Pro-42 clears hot at 0317. 16 GBU-31S dive toward 2 massive cave systems. What happens next is geology's answer to warfare. The mountains collapse inward. Both complexes seal themselves shut. Meanwhile, Pro-43 faces the hardest job of the night, the Korga complex. This one isn't dormant. It's actively firing Shahab-3s toward coalition bases across the Gulf. Patriot and THAAD batteries are already redlining, intercepting what they can. The mission commander can't just bomb it. He has to time it. He studies the AWACS feed, each missile launch, every pause, then calculates the reload rhythm, roughly 8 minutes between shots. That empty reload window is his chance. The cave is telling him when to strike. At 3:31, bomb bay doors open, directly above an active launch site. The first pair of GBU-31S hits Aperture 1, exactly 90 seconds after the last launch. The rail is still reloading. The Blue 109 penetrator warheads punch through the open hatches, detonate inside. The bay collapses, the loading mechanism crumples. Nothing fires again. 8 seconds later, Aperture 2 takes the same punishment. The remaining 12 bombs march across 4 tunnel mouths in trios. Each one folds under tons of rock. The Korga complex falls silent. The AWACS controller, who's been watching missile tracks for an hour, waits. Scan after scan, nothing. The cave that was launching death minutes ago has gone permanently dark. Tonight proved one thing. Iran's underground network existed because its planners believed buried meant safe. For B-2S just proved otherwise. No mountain is too deep, no concrete too thick, no tunnel too remote to withstand a coordinated precision strike. If the attackers remain invisible until impact. None of this is bleeding-edge tech. The B-2 has flown since 1997, the GBU-31 since the same year, the F-22 since 2005. What changed is integration, systems linked so fluidly they strike like one line. Every military watching that AWACS feed understood, buried no longer means safe.